Gutierrez versus Garcia. What a It was an interesting fight. A real interesting fight. Real interesting fight. Garcia, you gotta give it to that motherfucker, man. That's the that's the upset king. That's the spoiler. He is the spoiler. You know, he upset Chris Colbert, the colorful, and I mean colorful, Chris Colbert, and gave him his first L. He went from unknown to champion within 2 fights. That's amazing. Only the fourth Dominican Republic with a title. That's an achievement, especially from going unknown to champion. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck was wrong with Gutierrez. I really don't. I mean, because Garcia controlled the tempo, he controlled the pace, he used the stick. Gutierrez's left hand was by his stomach. He was getting tattooed with that jab, kept making him reset, and then he was throwing to the body. To me, it just looked like Gutierrez was just looking for help from the ref. A shot or two may have been low, but you know it's unintentional. You know what I'm saying? He was just throwing body punches. Also, he was looking for help from the ref with a so-called headbutt when he was the one initiating the contact. I mean, I don't know if his mind was in the fight or not. Not only that, your corner had to threaten you to throw some punches or they're going to stop the fight. But he made the championship rounds after the 9th round look good. You know what I'm saying? He made it interesting. Like I said, this fight reminds me of Teofimo and Loma. Too little, too late. Too little, too late. And Gutierrez was kind of talking shit in the beginning of the fight, talking about the only thing Garcia's going to leave with is with an L. But he left with your motherfucking belt. We got to nominate Garcia as the motherfucking upset king. Went from unknown to champion, man. You got to give that boy his props for that shit. You got to give that boy his props for that. So I take my hat off to Garcia. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his damn thing. But when as ever, I never saw a motherfucker corner threaten to throw in the towel on a fighter because they won't fight. And they didn't interview him after the fight or anything. He probably left the arena, so we don't really know what he went through or what he was going through. But in my personal opinion, I believe he tasted the power and he was a little gun shy. You know what I'm saying? He was a little gun shy. He was scared to throw it. And the same thing I thought with the Teofimo and the Lopez fight. And to keep from being embarrassed, I'm just going to coast this out and hopefully I'll catch him in the later rounds and championship rounds, and you know, which he tried to do, but it didn't turn out that way. I mean, he had all that energy in the later rounds, the 10th, 11th, and 12th. But you was just in survival mode from the first round to the 9th round. You don't get points. You're not going to keep your title without throwing punches. That's just not how it goes, especially against an undefeated fighter. And if this fight would have ended any other way, it would have really fucked boxing up. Would have really fucked boxing up. But new champion, and I'm going to just call him the upset king, Garcia. Unknown the champion. That's crazy. Crazy fight. But like I said, I wish that Gutierrez would at least had an interview, a post-fight interview or something, so we can know what was in his mind, what went on. And, you know, it didn't look like he hurt anything to me. It didn't look like he hurt his hand or shoulder or any of the excuses that fighters normally use. It didn't look like he did none of that. Because if he did, he wouldn't have turned it on from the 9th through the 12th. You know. What happened to all... If you got energy that late in the fight, Was you just asleep from round 1 to 9? I don't get it. Did you want to keep your title? I mean, somebody tell me something. Am I missing something? You know what I'm saying? But overall, you can't take nothing from Garcia's performance. He did what he came to do. Became the new world champion. And like they say, everybody say Gutierrez is known for coming back, but I'm sure he never came back this late in a fight. You know what I'm saying? He had to never come back this late in the fight, or tried to come back this late in the fight. I don't know, was he plotting on one shot? You know, one right hand or whatever? But he didn't throw it. To me, the motherfucker gave more dap in between rounds than he was throwing fucking punches. Every round he ended, he dapping him like, good fight, good round. But you ain't doing shit. You threw more dap to the nigga than punches you threw at the motherfucker. We ain't friends in that motherfucker till after the fight. Right now, you my motherfucking enemy. I'm not dapping you up every round. That's that shit Shane Mosley used to do. I'm a different kind of breed. We do all that shit after the fight over. Right now, it's war. Especially when you're trying to take something that's mine. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, y'all. I don't know where he go from here, what he gonna do from here, but he basically gave his belt away for lack of effort. So he had to respect Garcia's power, something of that nature to make him gun-shy to not throw punches into the championship rounds. Or maybe he's so used to coming back that he thought maybe persuasively the judges would be on his side. He can probably coast a little bit. Because Garcia was apprehensive. He was standing still. He was dictating the pace. But he was standing dead center in the ring, wasn't moving, no footwork or nothing. Gutierrez still wasn't throwing no punches. I'm like, what the fuck is you doing? Jump on him. He wasn't doing none of that shit. So I would like for him to have talked to Jim Gray or something to kind of know where his head was at, so we can get a better understanding what the fuck went wrong and why you wasn't throwing. Because at the end of the fight, we clearly see you had the stamina to do all the shit you did from 9, 10, and 11 from round 1 to fucking 9. At least make it a fight. At least make it interesting. But it was just a unanimous decision to whitewash. And Garcia almost fucked it up by going toe-to-toe with you. When she should have just boxed and stayed away. That's what I would have did. I know I done got the rounds down pat. I would have boxed and stayed away from you. You know, touch you every now and then and got out the way. But he almost fucked it up, going blow for blow. But, again, new champion. And I'm going to just give him a nickname real quick. I'm going to call him the Upset King. Because that's what he been doing to this division so far is upset. And still undefeated. And, you know, that division ain't real deep. So he can go right into another title shot. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying, he get that belt. Now, once he get another belt, then it could be a super fight for Undisputed with him and Shakur. Now, that'll be the fight that I would love to see. I definitely would love to see that fight. Even though I think Shakur is too skilled for him, but it would still be a good fight. It still would be a good fight. But that's what it is, baby. Raw and real. Back at you with the new spiel. Peace.